where
Dungeon Doom Hands.
talk
Let's
lore.
talk
Something
lore.
is gonna the
A
podcast
podcast.
is gonna happen here. I'm Spencer. Welcome back. This is Chris. We are going to be discussing on this episode of Let's Talk Lore how to build a character and what
Oh. How to take your new character and build the personality that you can use to roleplay.
to roleplay. Yes. Okay. So we've just done 2 sessions about role playing, and this is a great idea now to discuss the individuals, the specifics. So we have a character named Kali Leafort, which we created. I will put her
your elephant background,
the elephant background in the comments. But what we've rolled from her, and we've rolled her specific traits and stats. She's Kali Leafort. She is a leader of the guard, let's say, at Triguard, and she is the head of the guard. So everyone is sort of treats her with respect. But with the random rolls that we took from the Game Master's random table for NPC building, she has an athletic build as an elephant, which is hilarious. She carries around a golf. She's relies on the kindness of strangers. She imposes fear on the people around her, I think it was. Imposing fear on something she built with. Well, and then, yeah, go ahead.
I didn't realize that was part of her rolled tables. I just ran with that.
Yeah,
but it made everyone afraid of her.
Yeah, so that's hilarious.
That means you're playing her correctly. You're playing her true.
We built this character based on a couple roles, but that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is, Chris,
how do you take what you just read and translate that into actual role playing in a game?
Right. Okay. So she's
relying on the kindness of others. She has this big title, this important job, the head of her job in a big city.
And how did she get? It's a massive city. It's the most technologically advanced city. So where are the characters from? What their job is? Essentially, what their goal is. So a lot of this role playing is goal oriented, just like the book said, just like the good book said. What is her goal? And her goal is to maintain her status as the sentinel of the Knight's Guard. And she's also she's a paladin. She's looking to rid Triguard of any type of evil beings that could harm King Lololo. But in our game, that's the same thing. So she's been assigned by King Lololo to follow you guys. So she is going to be role played in the sense of being a character for King Lololo. What would King Lololo do? How would King Lololo want this to be done? Are you going to kill that person or take them back for questioning? Are you going to question them? I feel like that's interrogation. You describe the city as people throwing bodies on carts and stuff like that after the zombie attack. She's interested to see what happened with the zombies. Is there any other type of living zombie being? Who are these characters?
Yeah.
So she's
that's being played. I think it's a beautiful transition from her backstory to her interactions in the game. She's doing her job. She's investigating. She's figuring out what's going on. That's a beautiful way to translate. She's the head of this organization to walking over to a person saying, "Hey, what are you doing over here?"
Right. I love that you were like I sort of pushed you a little bit with the role play because you said there are soldiers and stuff kind of cleaning up the city, killing the zombies, moving them out, and I said I'd like to interact with one of the soldiers, and you're like, okay, and they come over sort of scared, and you just did that, but it's funny that happened on this, and my response to them was always, very good. I just ask that you do it a little bit better. Do it just a little
Hmm.
bit better of a job, and carry on. That's her sort of mentality. So her goal is to is to protect Trigard, is to guard
Hmm.
Trigard essentially
Yeah.
from evil. So how would you translate that into role play?
Well, I think what you did was perfect, and it goes into what I was going to ask you about anyway. You're in that situation. You're walking in the streets. You see the people piling the dead corpses on the carts. Um, how does Kali Lafort feel in that situation, in that moment? What are her emotions? What is she thinking about? How does she feel? Like with that backstory that you have, those little marks that you read, how would that translate into her emotion in that situation?
Well, she would be happy the that the guards are cleaning up the city.
Hmm.
First off, and she would know that it's their duty to do it. So it's not
Hmm.
like it's not going to go over there and thank them.
Right.
At the same time, uh, she also relies on the kindness of strangers. So maybe there's a stranger there too. Maybe there's So she says, "Oh, she's going to be helped. She's going to be nice
Hmm.
to the people there. She's probably not going to be very nice to outsiders at that point in time. You know, she's probably not. She probably needs to take it a little convincing. Maybe I should have done a little bit more of a convincing aspect of the role play with the player characters because it's like
Hmm.
all these people sort of the zombies followed you into the city. Perhaps you're responsible for it. She hasn't quite come up with that.
well,
Again, her
well,
intelligence is
maybe,
eight. Her intelligence
well,
is
maybe
eight.
you can bring that up next
Yes.
session. Just it took her a little longer to piece all that together.
Yeah. And I think that when you're creating a player like Kali Leafort, who is a paladin,
Hmm.
obviously, and they have an oath to clean up the city, rid it from evil.
Yeah.
That's sort of easy to do. Like role play wise, it's easy to do. I mean, in the sense that she's going to probably try to do the right righteous thing for the city, not
Yeah.
not
Well,
for other people, because paladins are also very
yeah.
very
Well,
stubborn. So
how the question I have is while you're doing those very standard paladin following your quest, how do you bring her personality into those goals, those interactions?
that's interesting.
Because that's where I feel that role play becomes more than just going through the motions of like, oh, you're a bad man, I'm gonna smite you, get out of here. Of like there's something else to your character, to Kali, and there's something else to that interaction that they have. Like with the guard watchman, you went and you were interesting and you said and do better next time. Just do a little bit better. There there shows that there's a sense of leadership to Kali of wanting everyone around her to improve and giving them hope and confidence and really brings out the qualities of being a leader in that position entail.
And
And that was brought out in your role play there. And that was beautiful.
and also to add to that, as a DM, the way that I would run it and the way that I'm gonna almost force it is that let's just say they come across a soldier who is not in order and not doing what they're supposed to do and not
Hmm.
and not helping and abiding by the rules that King Lolo. She's going to question that. What is wrong with this guy? Like, there's a world building aspect to it too, because remember, the world building isn't just the DM; it's also the players. So there's going to be plenty of time during the role play for the characters to wield their power and build the world through the role play. And I'm going to be going up to people and saying, why are you here? Why are you not assisting your fellow men of the guard? And
Hmm.
I might have to kill them.
Well,
You know,
that played out when you guys got to the gate too. Of you got to the gate and you saw a couple people haphazardly doing their job, and you yelled, and then everyone got
got in
off their
line.
ass and they
Got in line.
knew who was there and immediately did their job perfectly.
Imposes fear.
Hmm.
But But yeah, I mean, listen, when you build your character, there's plenty of aspects that you can use to help role play. And
Mhm.
what we were talking about is something a little bit more deep. It's like, how do you create your character's feeling of self and use it in the game?
Mhm.
And what is that self? And a lot of it has to do, and again, bringing it back to the goals. What are her goals?
Yep.
And use the goal as the seed that grows the tree into the role play, because like
Mhm.
that's essentially what it's doing. Um,
For every character, I love to have short, medium, and long term goals. Like
oh
short
yeah,
term, what am I doing the next couple days? Medium, what am I doing the next couple weeks? And then what am I doing in this year?
I owe
And
you a backstory.
you do.
So that is one of the reasons why we had a little bit of a difficult time discussing her character, because I haven't fleshed out the backstory yet. And I
Well,
promise you this: I will create a backstory, and if you want to have, I will offer that up to the people at the table. Just saying, let me explain myself to you. I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but
well,
it's a female paladin elephant.
the first sit down, the
Yeah,
first camp that you guys get to, you're like, we need to have a talk.
and I will,
This is who I am.
and I'm going to talk about my upbringing in the Sky Kingdom and how it has made me who I am now.
And
Who?
Vololo's
Yeah,
conquest and saved you from the horrific round earthers.
you're right. Yeah, and I also realized that off topic, if there's water, I can use my trunk to breathe.
To breathe?
Yeah, because you,
Oh,
you
to
hide
you're below it.
to
Yeah.
hide under and go.
Like the
Just
straw.
yeah, but love it, love it, love it.
Awesome. Well,
Um,
I think
let's
that's a
talk
great
more.
way
Yeah,
of bringing your character's personality out into the role play.
yeah. I mean, there's plenty of different ways to do it. Would love to, again, I say this again. I'd love to hear what other people have to say in the comments,
Mm.
or just DM us.
Any tips, tricks,
Yeah,
anything,
we'll be
suggestions?
happy to talk to it, and we'll even invite you on here to share your ideas with us
Yeah.
if you feel up to it. But
If they're good enough.
yeah, if you roll high enough and subscribe
Yeah.
enough, you'll you know.
This is Rena.
With that,
Rena rolled
roll high
low
and
during
subscribe.
death saves
Thank
and
you for
didn't
watching
get
Let's
healed
Talk
by
Lore,
his
and
group.
we'll be back
Don't be a
in a
Rena.
couple
Roll high and subscribe.
2 weeks.